Hi, we are Wharton. We're here today just to share some of our top tips in response to COVID-19. We totally appreciate the impact and additional pressure it's putting on businesses and particularly their people. So handing over to Liz, what's your thoughts on top tips?
Hi, I'm Liz Hurst. I'm a director here at Wharton. I think for me, one of the things that we found most valuable over the last couple of weeks is establishing working principles. So that's both as a team, so for example, doing daily stand-ups, but also actually, for me personally, planning my time. So I'm working at home, 2 young children, my husband's also working at home. So it's about being honest with you as my team about where my limits are. So what times of day can I work? Where have I got to move things into the evenings? And kind of doing that on a week by week basis, because we don't know how long the situation's going to go on for. My husband's a key worker. He may have to start going in and supporting. So we kind of have to do it week by week. But I think on the flip side of that as well, it's about understanding when you and the rest of the team are willing to work, when you're able to work, and respecting that. So although I may need to work some evenings and weekends, that doesn't necessarily apply to the rest of you, and just making sure we're all really open and honest around that. And then from a kind of more basic perspective, I guess, is just a simple tip for me: just use the video. It's amazing. It doesn't matter, I don't think, whether you're still in your pajamas, you've not managed to have a shower, you're feeling really under the weather, your partner walks in behind you or the kids. I just think it helps to really establish that and build on that relationship that you have with your team or with your clients. I think it helps you to concentrate better when you can see people and they can see you. And I think it also, there's an important part about bringing your whole self to work, and people get to see where you live, get to see the environment around you. And it's a really basic but important point to me. Nick, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, thanks, Liz. Hi, everyone. I'm Nick Fletcher. I'm a manager at Wharton Business Consulting. So I think from an organisational point of view, something that we're seeing in the conversations we're having is the importance of leaders and businesses being able to prioritise business critical activities and basically stop doing anything that's not important right now, that's not adding value to their people, to their customers as well. And as part of that activity is prioritising the work stack, like what needs to continue to be done. What is critical to the business, and what do people need to be focusing their time and effort on in such a challenging time. And I suppose as part of that, once that activity has been done, it's considering how you can divide your teams into maybe smaller, more agile units, granting them more autonomy to carry out these high priority tasks. And it kind of increases the rapid action and connectivity that they have within teams. And this is something that we've been seeing in the market, which has become quite commonplace at times outside of COVID-19, and it's been shown to be a very positive way of working. So now, especially, that kind of way, those new ways of working are going to become more important. I suppose from a personal perspective, it's around getting headspace. I imagine that a lot of people, myself included, are holed up with family members, with roommates, with kids probably, and it can become quite overwhelming and mentally fatiguing not having your own space throughout the day and into the evenings as well. So one of the things I've been doing is scheduling alone time, having that time that I know is just to myself, where I can reflect on different things, practice mindfulness, potentially meditation. If you've not already tried it, I highly recommend it. And obviously there's a lot of tools and platforms to support that, such as Headspace. So that would be my main takeaways of this so far. Claire, anything to add from your perspective?
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, hi, I'm Claire Brazell. And for me, I think the key thing is it's all about communication, understanding expectations, and engaging with each other in different ways. To Liz's point, the video is really important. And because so many of us are now working flexibly around homeschooling kids, managing all of the other loads of work that goes along with having your whole family in a house, we can't always work at the same time. So knowing what needs to be done, whether the deadlines are flexible, and how that needs to be delivered and by whom is really important. Having the video on during the call makes such a difference if we can all be on the call, but having other modes of communication available as well, and sticking to those, whatever it is, whatever works for your team, whether it's email and WhatsApp, it really does depend, but just sticking to it and being consistent is super helpful. You know, people in the team have talked about our sort of daily rituals, finding alone time. For me, it's about getting outside, obviously. At the moment, that's quite restricted in terms of the way people can and are allowed to go outside, but just getting the fresh air where it's possible, using online platforms if it's not, or if it's raining or whatever else, but just getting the oxygen to the brain. We're certainly using all of the online kids videos to do exercise with the family and get everyone engaged. Certainly really helps when you know you need to switch between one task to another very quickly. And from a working perspective, I think it's about feedback up and down the line as well, really understanding if what you're doing is hitting the mark, if the goalposts have changed, if expectations are changing, because let's face it, absolutely everything is changing right now. And that's hugely challenging to deal with. So being able to discuss that and understand is really important.
Yeah, and I'd just like to build on that as well. So Nancy Wharton, founder of Wharton Business Consulting, just what Claire was saying there around, yes, the importance of having those regular rituals as a team, of getting together, and very much we have a 9 a.m. stand up where we all get together. We'll obviously share how the last sort of 24 hours have gone, but also what we are planning for that day. But I think in this situation, it's really important as leaders and as managers that we help our teams through this. Our teams are going to be at different stages in what's called an adjustment reaction. And also, for those who remember the change curve, it's still very, very relevant in this day and age around how do we develop resilience and look after our organizational health, as well as help our teams through this journey. And I think it's about not just thinking around the logistical preparedness for the next 3 weeks to 12 weeks, but also emotional preparedness. So really just checking in with your team, making sure that everyone's okay. I think it's really important, as Liz has said as well, there's clear direction. You have clear outcomes that you'll focus towards. But you're also thinking about and appreciating that your teams are going to have conflicting responsibilities, because they are managing responsibilities across the home, across work, and those lines start to become blurred. So it's really important that you set out those frameworks and guidance for them, and really help them along the journey. So, and from a personal perspective as well, for me, actually, mental well-being and physical well-being is super important. Making sure you've got the right chair, making sure you're not just sitting at the kitchen table or on a breakfast bench chair, because ultimately we're going to be sitting here for a much longer time than you would normally with the odd day of remote working. We all, as a team, work remotely and have done for a long time, so we're used to this way of working, but actually making sure that you've got a physical environment as well is super important. So thank you everyone for listening. If you would like any more guidance or support, please feel free to contact us directly or look at our website, www.WhartonBC.co.uk. Many thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
All right.